Oh, what a tangled web we weave, when at first we practice to deceive. Secrets and lies, two things that a believer should avoid at all costs, because somehow, in some way, they end up trapping him. Like a fly trapped in the web of a spider, there is no way to get out of a lie that becomes common knowledge, or a secret that has been disclosed. It was narrated from Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "There are 4 qualities. Whoever has all of them is a pure hypocrite, and whoever has some of them has a characteristic of hypocrisy until he gives it up. When he is entrusted with something, he betrays that trust. When he speaks, he lies. When he makes a promise, he breaks it. And when he disputes, he resorts to lies and falsehood." Narrated by Bukhari. As the cold winter's night sets in, Ali Baba and his grandson Yahya are sitting together once more in the lounge.
Yahya, how was your first day back at school after the holidays?
It was okay. Nothing special.
Don't you have any homework to do?
Nah, not yet. Nana, can you carry on with the story of Ash the gangster?
How do you know they used to call Farouk Gani Ash the gangster?
I read it in an article I found that you wrote. Remember, you told me to check through your old files if I wanted to know more about what was going on in Fietas in the 70s and 80s.
Ah, yes. You'll find much more on him as you read through the rest of the article. So that was Ashraf, Ash the Gangster Ghani, a legend if ever there was one. You know, I still recall how fired up he used to get whenever he was speaking about the apartheid system in the country.
Nana, did you and Ash used to attend rallies and meetings together?
Yes, my boy. Initially, when the Group Areas Act tried to evict the businesses from 14th Street in Fietas where we traded, we shopkeepers point blank refused. But slowly, some of the guys started signing leases at the Oriental Plaza and moving out from their shops. So it was only a matter of time before we all had to leave. I was two-minded about whether to move or not. On the one hand, I wanted to stand firm with Ash and defy the authorities by staying put. But on the other hand, the shop was the only source of income I had. And by then, both your mother and Muhammad Mamaji had been born. And I had a family to support.
So, what did you do, Nana?
Well, I spoke to Ashraf about it and he convinced me to stick it out. So we stood our ground, but in 1976, the forced removals began. It was terrible, Yahya. Without warning, the police came with their dogs and literally threw all us traders out of our shops. They came in and even emptied our goods onto the pavements in the street. There wasn't a shop that was spared.
Couldn't you stop them, Nana?
No, my boy. Nobody could stop them. Not even Ash the gangster.
That must have been a really tough time, Nana.
It was, my boy. It was. But even more so for Ash than for anyone else. You see, when the police came, Ashraf's 2 sons, Farouk and Hassan, had stopped at the shop with their mother Julie to bring him his lunch. They were the only little kids there that day, and they had to witness the destruction of their father's shop along with their mother. I think it traumatized them deeply.
In Farouk Gani's mansion on the hills of Houghton, there is a stillness in the house as the children all hold themselves up in their room, supposedly to complete the homework and assignments they have been given for the day. Farouk and Salma are seated in their stylish pajama lounge, catching up on the day's events, while Zaidan walks into the room.
In your local news, alleged
Assalamu alaikum. You home early, Daddy?
Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, I was too tired to go to the gym, so I came home instead.
What's that in your hand, Zaidan?
It's the letter from the boarding school.
From Redcliffe College? What does it say?
Did you get accepted, Zaidan?
Yes.
I was expecting that. You're such a bright kid. They had to take you on.
But it's like weird that they had an opening for me suddenly, when 2 other boys I know couldn't get in from the beginning of the year because the class was full.
So when do they want you to start?
By next Monday.
What? So soon? But we haven't even bought your uniform, and I need to get together some food stuff for you to take with.
Chill, Mom. We'll sort it all out over the weekend, inshallah. And I'll be home every month, so you can stock me up before I go back.
Always so cool and calm. Zaidan, aren't you excited to be going?
Gee, but I'm also kind of nervous, you know, being away from home and on my own.
Don't be such a sissy. You're almost a grown man now. You'll be fine on your own.
Besides, Redcliffe College is so smart. You'll have your own private room, so you won't even feel like you're at a boarding school.
I guess so. I just wish I could have gone to a Darul Ulum instead to complete my hifd.
You would never manage at Darul Ulum. From what I've heard, the conditions there are so tough and appalling, and you're used to an easy life.
But Dad, you always say how your brother went away to Zakaria Park and how he managed so well there.
Hassan was cut from a different cloth. From a young age, he knew he always wanted to study Deen. You don't even know what you want to do after school. Finish your schooling first, then we can consider his.
All right.
You know, when I was just a little older than you, I had to leave school and take care of my mother and brother. You're so fortunate that you have an opportunity to study, and at such an exclusive private school.
I suppose so. Anyway, I'm off to bed now. Assalamu alaikum.
Farouk, you know Zaidan was saying how surprised he was that he got in so easily now that half the year is over.
So?
I was just wondering, did you have something to do with it? I mean...
Of course, my dear. Which world are you living in? You do know that if you want something done in this country, money speaks louder than words or actions.
A man enters the house where he and his mother reside and is greeted with silence.
Assalamu alaikum. Ummi, are you here?
Aman, come through to my room.
Ummi, why are you in bed? Are you feeling sick?
No, my child, I was just a bit tired, so I came to lie down. Come sit down and tell me, how was your first day back at school in madrasa?
That's okay. But Ummi, something happened this morning.
What was it?
I saw Papa dropping the twins off. And I did something really totally dumb.
What did you do, my child?
I lifted my hand and waved to Papa.
Oh no. You know you're not supposed to acknowledge your father in public. Did the twins see you waving to him?
Yes, one of them did. Although I don't know which one. Ummi, I really didn't expect them to see Papa waving back at me. I did it unthinkingly, and it all happened so quickly.
Aman, there's no need to panic. I mean, they don't even know you exist. So they would have just thought you were some kid waving to the person who dropped him off.
No, Ummi, you're mistaken. The twin saw me. He pointed at me and then pointed back at the car. I was too far away to hear what he was saying. But then the other one looked at me, and it was as if he knew who I was.
Ya Allah. Did they approach you?
No, as soon as I saw them talking, I turned and ran into the school.
Aman, this is serious. If the twins find out who you are and tell their mother, Papa will never forgive us.
But Ummi, I was even there this morning. You told me he never drops any of his kids off at school.
Maybe he came to see you on your first day at the new school, my darling. And this was the only way he could.
More like he came to make sure that I keep a secret.
Aman, don't say that about your father. You know he's a good man, but he's just in a difficult spot.
Ummi, I hate living like this. Our lives are so complicated. I can't even tell my friends who my father is, in case the whole story comes out. They all think that Papa is some high-powered businessman who is always out of the country for work.
Well, that's not completely untrue. Aman, you just have to be patient, my darling. Allah will make things right for us one day.
We've been patient for so long, Ummi. I don't know how you cope living like this, Ummi.
Well, I accepted the conditions that Papa gave me when we made nikah, and I've always been happy living like this. Anyway, tell me, how was Madrasa?
Madrasa was good as always.
Who's your Mulana for grade 8?
They're still waiting for a new Mulana, but for now, Mulana Hassan is teaching our class.
Oh, you must be so happy about that. I know how well you relate to your uncle.
I even told him about the incident at school with Papa and the twins.
And what did he say?
Well, he said I should speak to you about it. He also said to be patient. He said that these things have a way of coming out, and that one day I'll be able to have a relationship with my brothers and sister.
Well, I really hope it doesn't come out. Can you imagine what will happen if Salma and her kids find out that Papa has a son and a second wife?
عشوة فيها لمة عشوة تسعد قلبك في برنامج عشوة في برنامج عشوة لا 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 لا.
Evening is falling, and in winter in Johannesburg, the sky gets dark by 5:30. Maulana Hassan Gani is on his way back from teaching afternoon Maktab Madrasa classes in Houghton, when he hears a siren and sees lights flashing in his rear-view mirror. He is pulled over by a police vehicle, and as he brings his car to a stop on the side of the road, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out his license, then opens the car door to speak to the approaching officer.
Evening, sir.
Good evening, officer. How are you doing?
I'm good, my man. So what's a holy man like you doing out this time of the day?
I'm headed home from work, sir.
Aha, of course. And where is home?
Officer, if you stop me to check my license, here it is. Then I can head off home.
Just a second, my man. Why the rush? Don't you have a few minutes to speak to an officer of the law?
Maybe another time, sir. I have a meeting to attend at the mosque.
Okay. Step out of the car.
Yes, sir. Is this really necessary? You've seen my license. What else do you want now?
Hi, man. No need to be cheeky with me. Get out of the car and do as I say.
As Maulana Hassan turns the Ford off and attempts to get out of the car, it dawns on him that the policeman might be a fraud. He tries to push the man away and pulls his door closed. But another man, also dressed in police uniform, suddenly appears alongside his passenger side door, which Maulana had forgotten to lock, and jumps in. He pulls out a gun while the first man reaches into Maulana Hassan's pockets and grabs his wallet and cell phone before forcing him out of his car. They throw the surprised Maulana onto the ground, and in a matter of seconds, they start the car and drive off. Maulana Hassan looks up just in time to see the police car also speed off into the distance.
Hey, come back! Ya Allah, what happened? My shoulder.
We're excited to announce that the Radio Islam app is available on Android as well as the iOS platform. Download it today, access seamless streaming, salah times, recipes and all other features available for free from Radio Islam International.